morning. This is Miss Celia from the Aurora Public Library, and today we're going to make something, I'm not sure what other people call it. I call it a sensory rice bottle, and it is just a plastic bottle filled with rice, other little things that as you turn it around, you can see different things every time you turn it. It can be a very relaxing thing to have afterwards, to just sit there and calm yourself down, but it can be a lot of fun to make also. Now, to make this, you could use just plain white rice. If that's all you had and you didn't want to take the time to color it, you could make it with white rice. I just like the colored rice because it looks prettier. Now, if you want, the first thing then that we would want to do would be to make the rice, to color it, not really make it. Okay, so you're going to take an empty plastic container. If you don't have one, you can use a baggie. You're going to take 1 cup of rice, and you're going to dump it into your container. Then you can take your food coloring and choose what color you would like to make your rice. So I'm going to take my rice. They say that gel food coloring works better. I've only ever had the liquid. It seems to work just fine for me. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to just dribble a few drops. Of course, the more drops that you put into it, the darker your rice is going to be. So when I show you my next one, you'll see how it did get pretty dark. So you're going to take it, do a little bit of shaking up, and then what you're going to use to make it set better is going to be white vinegar, half a teaspoon of white vinegar. Now, if you're like me, when I try to measure a half a teaspoon of vinegar over a bowl, I do a bad job. So I had it measured out ahead of time, and I'm going to pour that right into the rice. So, there's nothing in here that's inedible. Sometimes they can make it with rubbing alcohol, but I just use the vinegar. It works good. I happen to like the smell of vinegar also. Then you're going to put it in there, and you're going to shake it. Shake it good for several minutes. You can let your kids shake it if you want. If you do, make sure the top is on really tight. Tape the top on, something so you don't have rice flying all over the house. So then after you've shaken it, for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how long you want to keep them entertained, your rice will be all finished. Then what you're going to do is take your rice, you're going to pour it out onto some type of a pan. Sometimes people use a styrofoam. You're going to let it set out so that it dries. Maybe let it dry overnight. Maybe it'll be okay in a couple of hours. But you're going to let it dry so that the food coloring doesn't get all over your hands when you're working. Okay, and as you can see from the color of this rice, it's a very dark blue, unlike the blues from here because I was using up a bottle of food color. So it doesn't matter how much you put in, as little or as much as you want. It's just going to affect the color. So once you have some rice, so we're going to take this bowl of completed rice. Only blue. I didn't make a lot of different colors. You can make as many colors as you want. If you only want to color one and use that and some white rice right in there, now you've already gotten 2 different colors. And then you will want to have collected some small things that are going to fit into the top of your bottle. So it can be anything that you can find around the house. Small rocks, buttons. I had some small seashells, a penny, a marble. I'm sure around your house you may have some different things, even a feather. So whatever you find that's going to fit in that hole. Now you might want to check it. I had something that was a little large and I'm putting it in the hole. I jammed my hole shut. So you might want to check that out ahead of time. Then we're just going to go ahead and add a little bit more to this bottle because it takes a long time to actually add that all in. When you're doing it, you can just pick up the rice and drop it in the hole. I find it a little messy. So if you happen to have a funnel around, the funnel will work a lot better for adding the rice. So you can put in the funnel, pour in a little bit of rice. It's going to go here into the bottle. Take this out. Just put a little at a time and then go, what shall I add into my bottle this time? Oh, well, I have a nice small little purple button. Ooh, I have a googly eye. I'm going to stick that in there. And I don't know. Will this feather work? I've never tried one with a feather. We'll jam it in there. We'll see what's going to happen. And if you don't like it, well, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to put in a jingle bell. Now I need to add some more rice. So I'm going to put this in here because if you do it in layers, if you do it all at once, it's not going to work as well when you want to play with it later on. But I'm going to put in some more of my rice. Oh, as you can see, this time it decided to stick a bit, so I got to shake it out to get the rice out into my bottle. I had a lot of rice in there. Okay, so now I have some more rice. Oops, and I made a mess into my bottle. So I like to work on a tray. My mess is now contained. This time I'm going to put in a shell. I'm going to put in, oh, I found these letters. I have the letter D, so I'm going to stick that in there. Oh, this is a pretty marble. Oh, I like this green one better. Actually, I'm going to put in that marble and a small rock. And we're going to leave it like that right now. Now I'm going to put my top on. Now I'm going to go ahead and move it around a little bit, shake it, see how it's going to work. Now, through time, as we do this, you're going to see that that dark blue that I've just added in is going to mix in with some of the other rice. Now, maybe we want it just a tiny bit fuller than this. So we could go ahead and add, you know, I have some beads. Well, this is a blue one. Here's a gold one. And then let's see, just how much rice do I think we want? You don't want to fill it all the way to the very, very top because then it's not going to move around as well. So let's just see. We want to add it, maybe have it be about that full. That's probably a good amount. There's no right or wrong, so if it's a little more or a little less, it's not going to matter. And where did I just put my top? There we go. So I'm going to put my top back on, screw it on really tight. Now I would suggest if you have small children that you're going to be giving this to, or even any children or adults that like to mess around too, maybe eventually put a little bit of glue on your top so it doesn't come out. But now that you've had it, you can sit there, you can turn that. You see all different kinds of things. You can see my rice is starting to mix a little bit more. You can see different things each time I turn it around. And you can just sit there and use that. It can be a very relaxing. It can be fun. You can see have different people do it who can see more things. How many did they find? So there's no right or wrong as to how many things to put in, how much rice. It's whatever you have and you would like to do. But then when you're finished, you will have your very own rice bottle. So hopefully this is maybe something you can do. It is mostly things that you have around your house. Maybe you can make one, have it around, and something to do until I see you next time. Bye-bye.